Well, hello, kids. How are you? It's Pastor George, and with a Bible story for you today. And have you ever been afraid? Have you ever been afraid? I used to be afraid of something under my bed at night when I was a child, and I was afraid of that. And there was other things that I was afraid of. Have you ever been afraid? Well, I'd like to tell you a story about a young man. Let me show you a pic. I got three pictures for you this morning, and I'm going to show them. And I wondered if you could see that picture. And can you see the lamb and the lion and that fine young boy? His name, David. David. And David had rescued that lamb that was caught by the lion, and he had saved it. He had killed the lion. And now he was lifting his hand and praising God. Even though he was afraid, he was able, with God's help, to kill the lion and save the lamb. Even though he was afraid. The Lord said that through David, and David wrote it down, and he said, "The Lord is my shepherd." Well, David was a shepherd, and he protected the lamb from the lion, as he will do for you too. The Lord will protect you. Well, that wasn't the only thing that David had to fight. He had to fight, you know what this is? See that bear? There used to be bears over there in Israel. And David was a shepherd, would stay with the sheep all the time. And lions would come and try to grab a lamb and eat it. And now a bear came. And David, he has a slingshot. Remember that slingshot? Well, he's going to use it. And he's going to hit that bear. And that bear's going to die. But David's going to rescue that poor little lamb from that bear. Even though he was afraid, even though he had some fear, that he knew God would help him. That God is our helper. David wrote in the Bible, the Lord is our helper. He protects us and he keeps us. And you must remember that, because the Lord will protect you. Well, David had to fight again. And I know you know this story, and it's the third picture that I have for you. And can you see the giant there? His name is Goliath. Goliath from the town of Gath. And he came against all of Israel and said, "Come on, let's fight. You send out somebody, and if I win, then you become our slaves. If you win, we'll become your slaves." And nobody from Israel wanted to go fight that guy. He was 9 feet tall. Goliath was 9 feet tall, huge, huge. And David happened to be there when this big brute of a man came and yelled and wanted to fight. And he defied the armies of God. And David said, "I'll fight him. I fought the lion. I fought the bear. And I'll fight this man, because he defies the Lord. Even though I'm afraid, I will still fight him in the name of the Lord. And the Lord will deliver me. He will give me this man, and he will die, not me." David, although he was afraid, he had full confidence and faith in God, that the God who protected him from the lion, that the God who protected him from the bear, that the God will protect him when he fights Goliath. And so they fought. David only did one thing. He trusted in God, and he put a stone in his sling, and he swung it around and around and let it go, and it hit the giant Goliath right in the head, and he fell over. And that day Goliath died, and David was rescued by the Lord, because the Lord gave him the accuracy and the faith and the strength to be able to do that. And God will do that for you too. You know, you can be afraid and still win. You can still go forward. You can still trust God in all the circumstances. Now, you're not going to have to fight a lion or a bear or a giant, but there's other things that you have to deal with. And you may be afraid, but you know, trust in God, believe Him, believe in Him, and it's all of His promises. And He promised to protect you and to help you. And God will do that. He did it for David, and He will do it for you. Do you believe that? Trust God with all your heart, and He will help you. Amen. I'll see you next week. Lord bless.